Beer Geeks. Now, a year and a bit ago, I did a blind taste test in which I tried all the Belgian triples I could get my hands on to pick out which was the best. And the results were surprising. After nearly a decade of saying that Westmalle is the best triple in the world, I'm going to have to reevaluate that. But perhaps the most surprising thing about the video, certainly from a viewer perspective, was the fact that I didn't include a beer called De Gar. It was very much, that was very much the tone of the messages, and there were endless messages.
How dare you?
I did it to annoy people. Plus, I didn't really know what the beer was. Plus, you can't really get it anywhere except for a Belgian cafe in Brugge. So, when we headed to make our film with St Bernardus and visit Westvleteren, we went via Brugge, almost explicitly, to try this beer.
Starting with the freaks on the square.
And also a €1 Carapils. Come on, yes! We're in the road.
See that tower? In Bruges, mate. Splat.
Bonjour! So we went to De Gar. De Gar means alleyway.
It is down an alleyway.
He's down. He's made the link straight away. What a guy. So we went down this incredible small alleyway to what is, by all accounts, considered a hidden gem that everybody knows about. And how would you describe De Gar as a place?
I mean, like, it's really hickledy-pickledy when you go in. You're going down the weird little Harry Potter alleyway.
Yeah.
And then it was a little bit sterile when you got in there, I thought.
I call it like fusty, not sterile.
Yeah, maybe fusty.
Like,
yeah.
So it feels like a very old person's Belgian cafe, like a very local person Belgian cafe.
I'm surprised there weren't doilies on the table, because it felt like a bit doily.
Yeah,
vibe.
Yeah, it did have that kind of vibe. You remember it having wild classical music?
I'm sure I remember like massive overture classical music, but maybe that was just the beer talking.
You were just having a stroke, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
So we looked at the videos. There's none of that music.
Who said that? I know that's a famous. Who? Sorry, oh, is that the Clark's name?
It came with the cube cheese and the little thing, which was nice.
Cube cheese.
White tablecloths.
That was nice.
Slightly surly bar person.
Little like what's it type
little
things.
What's it things.
They were good.
And this came in a beautiful glass.
Yeah,
beautiful,
silly
big,
glass.
kind of bulbous tulip thing.
Yeah.
We didn't really like the beer.
It wasn't the best, Johnny. It wasn't
very
the best.
boozy, very sweet.
Yeah.
Had lots of character to it, but was just dominated by that.
Even the what's-its and the cheese couldn't take the edge off of it. And I love what's-its and cheese.
Yeah. So I bought this bottle and we left a bit underwhelmed. And I was a bit like, well, I mean, it should have been in the taste test, clearly, because it's the third highest rated triple on Untapped.
That's it.
The two above it have like citrus peel and white chocolate and all kinds of nonsense added and are made in America.
No,
so just gone. So this is the highest rated Belgian triple. You have to go 0.3 out of 5 down and like literally 10, 20, 30 beers down to get to Westmalle.
No way.
So this
crazy.
is supposedly the best triple in Belgium. We didn't love it there, so we're going to try it here. But I have prepared a surprise to try and recreate, because beer is about the place as much as the beer.
Oh, 100%. Especially when it's like Belgium, Bruges is like, I mean, the culture's amazing.
Exactly.
It looks beautiful, Johnny.
Yeah, so I'm going to bring some Belgian culture to the Brudio. Is it like being in Bruges?
Dude, I mean, I feel like they were wearing a better outfit than you. I feel like they had a white, like a white collared shirt on.
There was a kind of, 1950s waiter-esque feel.
Yeah, aside from that, this is amazing.
Nailed it.
No what's-its, but apart from that,
I got. Well,
incredible.
this is cheddar, because I'm going to say it, Belgian cheese sucks. Should we give this beer a go?
Yeah.
Try not to spill any on my pillowcase.
Okay. Pillowcase, Johnny. Breaking the third wall there. This is the finest linen, isn't it?
The finest linen pillowcase.
Oh my god.
So this is
cotton, you said?
of course. Thread count.
Oh.
Thread count We've lost count on
Thank
the thread
you.
count. You're very welcome.
Look at this.
This should have the theatre of pouring, you know, the world's greatest double IPA.
In the world's greatest beer glass.
Yeah, in the world's greatest beer glass. You can purchase that once it's back in stock, which it should be by the time this video's out. So, right, let's talk about this beer. Okay?
Go on then, go on.
So, I did some research before we went to Brugge. I'm not pronouncing that right, I know. It's like, but similar. Right, so it's a contract beer. It's brewed by the people that brew Pirat, Goedendrak. Like, good, but
Middling.
yeah, like a big Belgian family brewer who make decent beer, but nothing that's getting to the top of Untapped other than this one, which I'd imagine is a source of great frustration, but also pride to the brewery. In quite classic Belgian tradition, it's Saaz hops.
I love a bit of sauce.
And Saaz is one of my favourite hops. It's 11%.
They don't mess around, do they, these Belgians?
Well,
That's what you need the cheese for.
I don't know, this puts it all in perspective. Maybe they weren't messing around and this is messing around. The interesting thing is that it's quite a sweet beer. It finishes around 10-16, 4 Plato. So we were right about the sweetness. It's very sweet. It's very boozy. Probably quite spicy. The interesting thing I've learned is that it's re-fermented with a wine yeast, which is something that Steenberger, the brewery, do because they think it rounds out the big phenols that you'll get from a fermentation that, you know, gets to 11%. So maybe we're going to look for some character there. I mean, probably not vinous character, but some different stuff kind of going on. So now I'm hoping, even though I've set the scene with some nice cheese. Oh, I'm sorry, I've made a mess of my pillow.
Good spillage.
I've got to sleep on this later. We've set the scene, but hopefully we can analyse this a bit closer than we did half cut in Brugge on a pub crawl. Well, it's way less boozy than I remember. I already like it more than I did on location.
Yeah.
Way less boozy, way less sweet. Nice peppery, banana-y clove thing.
It's not as like mental smelling as I remember.
Yeah, I remember like putting my face in it and being, whoa.
Like almost like artificial kind of like bonkers flavours.
Yeah.
Well, smells.
Sweet, oily.
Yeah, it's got a
Really
resiny,
oily,
oily
yeah.
something going on.
Just I guess possibly booze with residual sugar, high phenols. You can detect kind of phenols and textures like that as well. Some of these sort of alcohol-derived things are slightly oily, slightly slick. So it does feel oily and feel texturally very different to, say, like a Westmalle.
It doesn't drink like an 11% beer.
No, which it felt like it did in the place.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, and they actually apparently they have a 3 limit in the.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
They don't want
allow
any
more than 3. Well, because
on the floor and
that's what
down
they
the
say.
alleyway.
Yeah, I don't know how big those glasses were. Maybe 250
I feel like
CL?
they were they chalices or goblets? I can't quite remember what they were, but they were pretty big.
Yeah, but I think probably it's a bottle of wine if you've had 3. Wow. So you're pretty on your way.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, it's much more mellow, much more spicy, much less boozy, much less sweet. Just all round a better beer from the bottle.
Big time.
I'm going to have to go in because I'm going to ask you the inevitable question. Is that the best triple in Belgium?
No.
So we've just filmed, literally just filmed our Westmalle episode of our Trappist series.
We have.
It's not as good as Westmalle.
No.
It's not as crisp, it's not as clean, it's not as complex, it's not as drinkable. It is good. You know, I was really down on it in Belgium. It is good though.
I think it tastes way better out of the bottle than it did out of draft. Could it be that it was a bit too fresh? Like it hadn't.
It felt a bit old. It felt a bit tired. Maybe the
lines.
Yeah, maybe the lines weren't great. I've got another little test I want to do. So I mean, I'm still amazed that this came top, but I do have a bottle of the beer that won.
Oh yeah, your top. Yeah,
the
right.
taste test.
Yeah, Castile.
And I thought maybe we could have a try of this. This is 11%.
Jesus.
And maybe we could compare it and see if all the angry people in the comments at least had a point that these two are that this one is slightly better than the Castile.
Okay, good plan.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. See you on the other side. So, Castile Tripel, another big Belgian family brewery.
Mm-hmm.
And the winner of the blind taste test. My notes
It's
said...
lively.
Whoa, hey.
Hello.
My notes said that it was big and sweet and loaded with vanilla.
Ooh.
Which I also get from Westmalle, but not many of the triples. But it is definitely a thing that you can have and do see quite frequently. Certainly carbonated, and certainly the clearest. Good lord.
Very clear, isn't it?
Incredibly clear.
So clear.
Compared to the other two. Loads and loads of frothy white head.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm getting vanilla and green apple and banana from that.
Green apple, yeah. There was an apple thing going on, for sure.
Which I don't remember, is not in my notes. So I sniffed this beer a year ago and rated it extremely highly. And I'm sniffing it now and going, oh, it's not a very good triple. Beer is either so contextual or so batch dependent.
Yeah, it could be the consistency, couldn't it?
Yeah. I mean, vanilla for days.
Yeah.
Really sweet, really highly carbonated, really crisp and clean. I can see why that would do well in a taste test, because it would just have cut through endless, heady...
Quite boozy.
Oh, yeah. I can feel it on the tongue.
Yeah. It's good, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's good, but it's not... It's still not Westmalle or St. Bernardus. Or indeed...
No way. Are you backing out?
I'm backing out.
Oh, man.
I mean, you know what? I don't love either of them.
This is way more... There's like a more caramelly, kind of slightly maltier thing going on.
Definitely more malt character. Definitely more complexity,
Yeah.
more body. This feels... You know, if you'd asked me in my head what Castile tasted like, I'd have said like full-bodied and thick and vanilla-y, and this feels like it's been filtered to within an inch of its life.
I mean,
is why it might be so clear.
it certainly appears that way, doesn't it? Clarity of it.
This one still has lots of life and unfiltered kind of qualities to it, and I enjoy that. I definitely prefer the Degar in this little face-off, but I would much rather drink the Westmalle we had an hour ago.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So we've learned a lot in this episode. So one, we've learned that the Degar bar is an acquired taste. B, we've learned that Degar is not the best triple in the world and did not deserve the vitriol that was sent my way.
But it is better.
But it is better than the beer that I personally voted the best triple in the world a year ago.
But it's not better than the beer we just drank half an hour ago.
Yeah, that I said wasn't quite as good. Which I think is down to that blind taste test scenario where that would have... The Castile would have cut through everything else. So essentially, blind taste tests are only helpful to a point. Hype is only helpful to a point. And if in doubt, you should always just drink Westmalle.
These are words to live by.
Yeah.
And on that note, Johnny, I will be drinking Degar.